Hello, everyone. I'm Jean-Claude BeyondMystic, and welcome to this deep woo-woo episode entitled The Wacky Woo with Mr. JSNIP4 and special guest tonight, Mr. Woo-Woo Dude himself. Of course, you can find Joe at JSNIP4 too here on YouTube and also on his Patreon at patreon.com/JSNIP4. And finally, you can find Richard at woowoodude.com. Guys, welcome back to the show.
Why, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. This should be fun.
Well, I'm excited to have you guys on. And of course, Joe and I were supposed to do this last Wednesday. We got some technical issues with our schedules, and we figured, okay, let's do it Sunday night. And then Joe texted me. He says, hey, I think we should probably bring Woo Woo Dude on. I'm like, okay, that sounds intriguing. Let's do it. So anyways, I had a bunch of emails today. All right, we're so excited. We're going to have Woo Woo Dude on Sunday night. So I'm like, yes. So it's like kids in a candy store here. Where do you guys want to start? There's just this weird volcano thing. And of course, I think, Joe, you had picked up on this a little while back. So why don't we start there, the conversation tonight, and then we'll dive into some viewer questions, and we'll have a lot of fun here tonight, okay?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, if you see my screen's a little screwy, it's because I'm in a different part of the house. I got kicked out of my closet for a couple of days, so
Joe's out of the closet.
So like different headphones. Yeah, I'm out of the closet. Ooh, I'm spitting. Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, I was kind of out all day. Actually, just got back in like in the nick of time. I was eating out at the restaurant. And I'm like, shit, I got be home in like 30 minutes. So
you weren't having any double burnt creme brulee, were you?
No. Not at all.
Or crusted croissant with maple, maybe? No.
Not at all.
God damn it.
Yeah. So yeah, but anyways, I haven't checked much of the news today, but I just noticed that volcano went off about 4 hours or 5 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
The infamous one. So it's the Canary Islands, but I couldn't tell you, is there a what do you call it, a tidal wave or anything? I just literally just found this, but I don't think so yet.
So far, it appears not. I mean, or at least it's not in the news so far. So that. Now, how does this tie in, Joe, with your dreams and perhaps some of the predictions that Woo Woo Dude was making last year on our show about all of these Earth changes? Who wants to go first?
You're kind of breaking up pretty bad right now.
Yeah.
And I wasn't able to catch what you said. You said it a little bit.
God damn it.
Who wants to go first?
Okay. So how does this tie with your dreams and perhaps some of the predictions that Woo Woo Dude was making last year about some of these Earth changes coming up? So whoever wants to go first, take the lead here, Joe. And if I have to reboot, if you lose me, Joe, just keep going with the show and I'll reboot.
Yeah, I'll just start real quick. My dreams, I've seen a lot of flooding, a lot of, destruction kind of events, weird, like a absolutely demolished city that I honestly don't think has happened yet. In the aftermath of that dream, that dream was so freaking clear about the subway stuff. And, a lot of times spirit will show me something in my dreams, but it's like, it's not a one-off thing, dude. So when it happens, don't just think that was it. It's like, oh, that was the beginning. Oh, there's another one. Oh, it's getting worse, And I think that event might be coming, still, where I went out of the subway car and I'm like, oh my God, I look like I just got out into the city after whatever happened and the water receded. And I'm like, you can't drive anywhere. Like there's debris everywhere. There's cars everywhere all flipped over. Like it was bad. And, people were just kind of outside surviving in a sense. And it was like no police presence. Like I got that there was nothing of that nature. But I will tell you, the other day I had that dream about this weird shooting, but nobody was getting hurt, and I'm like, what does this have to do with September 18th? Is that what that is? And they showed me this, my dad was trying to light this big firework, but he couldn't get it to light. It wasn't right. The wick wasn't right. So I just, interestingly, Cliff emailed me, Cliff Hyde. He's like, hey, dude, go listen to your video again and just listen to what you said. And I'm like, okay, but he goes, go listen. The one about your talk about the dream, your language is describing what? In 2 episodes, a fizzle, fireworks that won't light, shoot out without bullets, or the bullets don't do nothing. He goes, LOL, what happened? This was a major fizzle in DC with an actual gun that never went off. The guy got caught. He was an FBI agent, apparently. Looked like he was honestly looked like he was probably going to do something that day. He looked dressed up like Antifa. But nothing happened, right? It was a big fizzle. So I go, yeah, it's a good point. It's definitely a way to interpret my dream, but I was like waiting for like a big shootout kind of thing. But anyways, the earth change stuff, I've pretty much, I mean, my wife too, man, my wife's been getting it too. Flooding, more flooding. And honestly, I think like before, okay, you saw a little bit of that. This happened here, happened there, subway thing. But baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. I really feel like, and it not necessarily mean it's this year. It could be next year and the year after as things just get worse and worse. And then you'll have, like Woo Woo Dude, just when that's happening, maybe some meteors come down and oh shit, and that kind of thing. So on that note, that's about all I got to say. Woo Dude, if you got anything, and also let's not forget about the old meteor thing in the Google.
Let's start there. Actually, I wanted to say exactly that for the audience. Perhaps I have a new audience that's growing every day, and perhaps they didn't see some of our older stuff that was deleted by YouTube. So, Richard, start a little bit there, maybe with some of the predictions we were looking at last fall, just to set the stage for the audience, and then you could switch over and give us a little update as to what's currently on your radar map.
Yeah, well, it's all happening. It's a shame they took everything off YouTube, but it is what it is. Yeah. What they had shown me, I'm going to use the word the all in. That's what I want to use, because as I was getting all these things from Spirit, it was everything you could think of was coming our way, and as we proceeded through, I said, when summertime comes, that everybody will be talking about the human residence was spiking and what's happening. This is going to continue to rise. The vibration of our planet is going to continue to rise, and all hell, chaos is breaking out because of it. Many changes are happening. The weather changes. I don't know. Last year, I talked about seeing hail, and I saw a pair of hands holding one piece of hail, and I think that happened like 3 weeks later. And a lot of people go, "Wow, glad that's over." Well, no, it's not. The flooding and the storms are gonna really sweep the world, and it's just gonna get a little hairy. But you know what? It's also exciting times. Last week with a lot of the readings, I kept getting them going, wow, the powers that be, they think they got everybody by the short hair, simply put. And I've been laughing all week. And I said to Joe, along with some of the people I read, that they told me they're going to do something to Google. And I said, wouldn't it be funny if it's a meteor or something? Then Joe sent me something yesterday. I think it was yesterday, right, Joe?
Yeah.
With the Google place burned down. I went, oh, well, that's a start.
So, Larry Page house or mother-in-law suite or something on his property went up in smoke.
More and more, we're going to see these really higher ups, Hollywood people that really think that they're important, and they're going to find out they're really not important. And more and more, you're going to see everybody going against everybody. That's why, even though we're sitting back going, oh my God, what's next? I just say, dude, get yourself some popcorn, because you know what? This is good times rolling here for us too. And we just got to flow with this. You know what? Think of this as when you were a kid. Did you ever play, back when I grew up, we had a game called Kick the Can or Flashlight Tag and stuff my kids used to play. And it was a lot of fun. But the key is to stay in the game, right? And then you hear your mother, come on home, the street lights are on, right? Shit, you got to leave it. That's the way you all need to think of this, okay? And the respect. The people that are listening to this, okay, and listening to you, JC and Snippy, a lot of them are very, very old souls. And you're here for this reason. All right. Many of you have gone through life, and at this point, many huge changes happen. And sometimes you go, oh my God, this is terrible. But then you take a look and you understand where you are right now. You are prepared for these things that are about to happen. The whole planet is changing, every bit of it, and all the inhabitants are. And I really, some people really understand that there's beings that have been running our world for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And I know some people out there go, well, I don't want to go against them because they've been doing it for so long. You know what I say to those little creatures? Wait. Can we read sign language? Okay, because I'm going to tell you this. This is what I was shown. These creatures, and a lot of them are underneath us, by the way, they're in the ground. They're all scurrying. They're in a hurry right now because it's happening quicker. Joe, when you and I used to laugh all the time, I used to bring up the compression of time. Now everybody's talking about it because they are compressing time. How they're doing it, I have no idea. But because of it, all right, the ones, I'm just going to call them the dark ones, okay? Follow the dark sun. Things are happening out of their control and they're freaking out, all right? So they're trying to speed everything up. And the problem is like I made the joke about Google. Oh, so they think they got this plan and that plan. Wait until this happens to them, okay? Or that happens to them. Because
you're like, they didn't see that coming. And I don't think this guy saw his house burning down coming.
I thought that was funny. Within 4 days of me talking about Google getting hit and the place burns down, I went, that's a start. But there's more. You're going to see more and more of this occurring to the really high ups, okay? Where it's like, oh, you guys having a good time now? Let's see what else goes on. Now, like the eruption, going way back when the XRP thing was happening, JC, you saw all the 222 shit, right? That was going on.
Absolutely.
I mean, really, supernatural things were occurring, all right? And you had to put a lot of discernment into them. And we understood that the 222s meant so much more. And it was a way Spirit was validating things with me and people around to pay attention to the 222s. And they started happening again with, I'll just back it up a little bit, with this, it all started going haywire again when this guy got swallowed or put in the mouth of a whale. We all remember that. That was in June. And Spirit said, pay attention to this. And I laughed. I go, why? A guy got clammed out of a whale, right? But they said, pay attention. And then they knocked down the dominoes. I went, oh shit. I said, the dominoes are going to move fast now. And then right after that, I think it was Miami, Joe, wasn't it? Where the building fell over?
Yeah, fell down, straight down.
So, and they said, pay attention to this. And I asked Joe, I said, Joe, look into this. There's something important to this that has to do with the whale. I don't know what it is, but it's the 222 parable because it was coming up everywhere. I go, it's a connection. I don't know what it is. And so he's going into it. He's searching. Then all of a sudden, Joe, the newsman that he is, he found it, that a young man was pulled out of that wreck and he survived. I think he was like 13 or 14. And his freaking name was Jonah. Come on, dude.
The story.
All right. Hey, it's a coincidence.
You can't make this shit up, man.
Well, it gets better, JC. So we're going on. Snippy's going, oh, yeah, that's cool. All right. So we go on a little longer. And I think it was like the weekend. It was like a Saturday or Sunday. One of my neighbors said, hey, what we'll do, let's go for a ride in my side-by-side. I go, well, all right, crazy bastard. Brings me out.
Was it like the one behind me or what?
Yeah, oh, no. This thing was going a lot faster. And he brought me to this place. You guys ever watch that movie, Hills Have Eyes? It's a scary-ass movie about people living in the mountains or whatever. So I'm out there, and I'm going, oh, shit. I'm not feeling good about this. I said, let's get the hell out of here, right? And so we get out of there, and yeah, yeah, there you go. So we get out of there, and he says, hey, did you ever go down to the old church? And I go, what are you talking about, the old church? I think in my town, we got 3 buildings, a church, a corner store, and a post office. Nothing else, right? And he says, no, the old church down on this dirt road you got to get on. And he said, it's a Seventh-day Advent church, right? It was the first one ever built. And I go, no. He says, yeah, it's a freaky place. I go, oh. So Saturday morning, I tell Joe, I go, Joe, something's happening. Spirit is all over me that the 2-2 parable is waiting for me at the church. And I'm going, I don't know what it is. And that was in the morning. I said, Joe, I got to go. I'm going to go to this place and I'm going to find out. So I go in and understand this place is always closed. And I guess just in the summer, a minister comes and spends the summer there because you can't get to it in the winter. And so I pull up on a Saturday and the doors are open. I go, oh shit. So I go right in, I start taking photos of everything. I said, in case people come in, I want to analyze what I got because Spirit sent me in there. So JC, I'm in there. And then all of a sudden here, hello. I go, oh shit. I go, hello, right? The minister walks in with his wife and he introduces himself and I tell him who I am. And I go, Spirit sent me here. Now saying this to a minister, right? I go, yeah, Spirit sent me here. And it has to do with the 2-2-2 parable. The guy's like, what? I go, I know it sounds weird, but it has to do with Jonah, the whale. And I said, tragedies happening with water. I said, and a warning. I said, and they told me to come here for a reason. And they're looking at me, the husband and wife. So they start preaching to me. All right, which is cool. I'm sitting there and we're going back and forth. And then I go, well, I guess I got it all wrong, So JC, I get up. I said, thank them very much. I start walking out the door kind of briskly because I really wanted to get out of there. I felt kind of weird. I 1 foot out the door and Spirit took me over. Oh my God. They said, you go right back in there and we got words to say to that minister. I go, oh shit. I go, all righty. So I turn around and I start walking to him and his wife. They're looking at me and I go into a full-fledged channel. I'm taking over completely. I'm going up and down this guy, talking to him. Now I'm physically there. Okay. But I'm definitely possessed here at this moment of time by Spirit. And I'll call it the Holy Spirit. So I tell this guy everything about his whole life and how he ended up there and everything about him. And I didn't know anything about him, right? I'm freaked out, right? I get the shakes. I go, I got to leave. So now I'm really briskly running out of the church, right? I get 2 steps down. Spirit says, you get back there. What we got for you is behind the pulpit. I go, don't do this to me, guys. They said, you go back. Oh, shit. So I turn around. And the 2 of them are looking at me. They're crying. I go, what the heck? They said, we've never had anything like this ever happen. That was unbelievable. So I guess what Spirit was telling was the truth about them. And then I said, I got to ask you something. I says, Spirit told me you have something for me behind your pulpit. And they both look at each other. They said, go, look. I says, all right. So I go up there and I go behind the pulpit and I look and I go, oh my God. Did you get that photo, Joe?
I couldn't get it quick enough.
Okay.
I think.
So I take a photo. I'm looking at this. I says, didn't you guys, I looked at the 2, didn't you guys ever read what's behind here? I told you I came here for the 2-2-2 parable. And they're looking at each other like, this guy's wacko, right? So I look on the back, there's a cloth manuscript that, I don't know, it's several hundred years old. And on the bottom, it said, again, you can't make this shit up, JC. It says, Revelations 22:2. Behold, I come quickly. Right? And then directly above it, it talks about the prophets. I'm going, dude, the 222. Now that goes back to the whale, Jonah, the warning. Right after that is where across the world, water was inundating everything. Snippy was talking about the subways. I don't care where you were. The storms were hitting everything. That was a freaking warning. I went, holy shit. I went, I can't believe it. So now we're up to now. The 2-2 parable starts happening again. It started.
Okay. Hold that thought just a second here. I'm about to lose the buffer, and I wanted to acknowledge 2 comments in the chat. So the first one, Ann Cooper on the screen. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Yes, I've been working hard to put out all of this content. And of course, Joe and I keep getting deleted for doing this stuff. So I really appreciate it when these comments come up. You guys are amazing.
I found it.
And okay, so Joe, I'll bring you up on the screen. Hold on a second here. And DRX Duck Cleaning, he says, with all due respect, JC, you kick ass at what you do. Okay, thank you. And he says, but everybody else, please listen to all and follow none. Yes, this is what I say. Use discernment. And this is part of what Richard was just talking about right now. So thank you for that, everyone. Okay, Richard, wait, let me bring Joe on the screen here so you can show that picture. Do you want to show it through your cell phone? How do you want to do it, Joe?
Yeah, I don't know how. It's probably going to key the thing out.
Or do you want to email me and I'll bring it up?
Yeah, let's do that.
That'll be a lot faster. Okay, while we wait for that, Richard, please continue with the story. And there's quite a few people in there saying, wow, cool story, man. Okay, keep going.
Well, you know, it's like all 3 of us here and everybody else that's listening. Okay, you cannot make this shit up. You just can't. Mm-hmm. And I know this 2-2 parable, meme, whatever you want to call it, is a very real thing. And it's basically validating what they're giving to me. So on 9/11, now think about this now. On 9/11, the tremors begin to happen on the Canary Islands, right? Started on 9/11. What Spirit told me is that it was being hit by a technology that was creating this to happen because they want to create a big problem. They used 9/11 because it's a sacred date. A lot of people died, right?
And this is also the day Afghanistan fell, or on or about.
Oh, look at that. This guy knows how to lick ice cream. The rest of you need to do that before we get to winter time, okay?
That was my poster for the Janine episode when Kabul fell. We did a decode on this. And of course, we were making fun of Mr. Ice Cream Guy in this banner. Anyways, keep going, Richard.
So the 222 made a couple crazy turns. I was talking to my daughter about it, and the 2-2 came up, and she said, "This is going to be a sacrifice." I go, "I know, it's pretty crazy, isn't it?" And on that day, now I'm backing it up now. On that day is when the people got killed in Afghanistan, and they announced what was happening. Now I'm going to go forward with the 2-2 again.
Okay. Well, let me bring up the poster Joe sent me. So if you want to just maybe point out to the audience here,
yeah.
it's at the bottom here, Revelation 22.2, right at the bottom right corner here. And Spirit of Holy Prophecy, looking to the blessed hope. Where was the other?
Go down. Go down. Yeah, go now.
Oh, yeah, surely I come quickly. Yeah.
Yeah, but now go a little bit above it. What does it say? The Spirit of Prophecy.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah, right here. Let me bring it up a little bit more for the audience. Hold on. There you go.
But again, really, surely I come quickly. 2, 2, 2. There's the 2, 2, 2s. And again, I specifically went up there for the 2, 2, 2 parable. Spirit sent me there. And there it was. So, needless to say, here we are now. All right. So,
all right. We're still tracking with you. Keep going.
The 222 lives on here. So, the volcano starts doing its thing. And then the 222 comes to me. Spirit's visiting me every night, talking to me about these things they all in. I'm going, oh my God, I'm not sleeping at all here. And then I wanted to give the warning to my daughter and say, listen, the 222's starting again. And I said, the volcano's going to go, but not in a manner that they think. I said, but you need to stock up on a lot of stuff. I said, it's about to get really hairy. She goes, Dad, do you realize what time it is? Take a look at your phone. And I went, you can't make this shit up. It was 2:22. And I definitely didn't try to do that. So the other night I'm talking with Joe. I'm shooting the shit with him while he's driving. And I start telling him about the 222s. And, you know, he's talking to Spirit back and forth. And then all of a sudden, he starts sending me these texts. This is getting out of hand, woo-woo, dude. Right? Tell him what happened to you. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm sitting there driving, and I'm seeing the 2-2 stuff just, it's getting ridiculous.
Hey, Joe, do me a favor. Bring your microphone volume down just a tad. You're a little bit hot compared to Mike here for people's headphones here. Just down a little bit. Go ahead.
The mic?
Yeah, just your mic down a little bit. You're a little hot.
I'm able to do that here. No. Automatically adjust mic volume. Does that sound any better?
Yeah, I think that's good. Keep going.
Yeah. I just left it on auto now. Okay. So I'm like seeing the 2s, the 2-2, like it's just getting crazy. And I'm like, okay, there's only so many numbers on the license plate anyways, you know, and there's you know, alphabetic, you know, whatever, you know, letters as well. So I'm like, oh, there's a 2-2. Oh, wow, there's a 222. Oh my God, there's a 2222 on the license plate. Like, what the F? So I'm just still driving. And then I start asking Spirit about, you know, is this crypto crash thing I'm waiting on? Like, you know, if that's going to happen or whatever, like show me a 7-7 thing, you know. And so I'm driving for a little while. And then finally I see these 2 semi trucks. And I see my numbers. So I'm like, whoa, okay. And I'm like, I never see those numbers. I only see.
You mean the numbers in New Mexico you're talking about?
No, I asked to see 7s. If my thoughts are right on this, like, is this thing still going to happen? Like I think this crash.
Okay.
And I'm like, I never see 7s, like 777 on a license plate or whatever.
Okay.
So long story short, I see 2 777s. And these are 2 specific semi trucks, times apart, whatever, a little while apart. And they're both, as I'm pulling up close to them and I'm about to pass them and go around them, they start driving like shit, one at a time. The first one. So I start driving all of the fucking road. I mean, just everywhere. And I'm like, I'm not even going to pass him because he's like way into the lane. And the cars next to me are going, yeah, we're not either. I can tell. They stop, you know, they slow down. As soon as we all get close to him, he starts driving normal again. Oh, okay. But I'm watching this truck like a hawk because I'm about to pass it too. And 777 license plate. It was like that truck was saying, pay attention to me. So a little while later, so I call Woo Dude. I'm talking to him like, dude, like, forget the 2s. Like, this just happened. And I'm like, and there's this freaking car I saw earlier, like 2 hours ago, with a 2222 license plate. You know, we're chatting. And I'm going, oh my God, it just fucking passed us again. Like, there's the car, unless that's a newer car, a different car. I was like, I don't even know. Like, this was over 2 hours ago. I've already stopped, got some gas, ate at a little restaurant on my way back to my house. I'm like, where does this guy come from? It's 2222. As we're talking about, I go, oh, by the way, I'm passing, you know, whatever. There's some sign that said like 322. I go, oh my God, like, all right, I'm out of here. So I hang up. And then, like, I swear, maybe 30 minutes went by. Now there's a flatbed semi in front of me. starts driving like shit, just like the other one. Both lane, in and out of the lanes. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, here we go again. And I get closer to it, thinking the same thing. I'm watching it like a hawk because I don't want this thing coming to my lane. Mm-hmm. And I say to myself, right as I get up close to the thing, and I'm driving, I say, yeah, he's probably got 3 7s in the license plate. And I get closer, and I start to pass him. He's got 3 7s in his license plate, just like I asked. And when I asked Spirit, I said it doesn't have to be 777. It could be like 7 space, something. As long as there's, I was like, if there's 3 7s in the license plate, I'm good. Like that's a thanks, Spirit. And sure enough, both of those trucks, 3 7s. So I'm like, what are the chances? And then I never saw another 7 thing on the way home. The 2s finally stopped. I was like out of control. But again, as Woo Dude said a long time ago, he goes, this 2-2 number, Joe, I know we saw XRP go down to 2222. He goes, but they're telling me you guys have to use discernment. This isn't just about XRP crypto. There's a whole lot more to 222s that I think we'll find out in the future, which now that we're somewhat into that future, holy crap, stuff's happening. And that church thing he's talking about happened way after the initial XRP stuff we were talking about. Like that was way after that happened. And this truck thing with me was just, I guess it was yesterday. Was it Friday or yesterday? It was yesterday. And you just can't make this stuff up. And I'm like going,
okay,
how the hell do you guys do it?
Hold on just a sec, Joe and Richard here. There's quite a few people in the audience here who are brand new to this whole storyline with the 2222, and they're like, what the fuck are these guys talking about? So Joe, in 2 minutes, make it short. Where did you start with the 222 and how does it relate to XRP? And this is why we're having the conversation. And then we'll get into the crypto here and put it into the time frame for today. So just explain to the audience here where all of this 222 started very quickly.
Yeah, okay. So it started, I've been working with Richard. He's been working with me since like April or so of last year, March or April. And he says, my spirit guides have been telling me that I got to reach out to you to start opening up some of your gifts, your abilities. And I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm. So I start doing what he says. I start having crazy dreams, prophetic dreams. And I'm like, whoa, this is crazy shit. So he goes, oh, yeah, well, your wife's going to get it too. Like your kids, your wife, they'll get it, but you're first. And I'm like, oh, okay. So Evelyn just got a random dream. And I don't remember. I might have even asked her, like, hey, when you go to bed tonight, ask. I might have even asked her. I don't know. And she gets this 22. And she goes, oh, you're talking to your treasure hunting friend, Dave, on the phone. And you were like, something, laughing, whatever, 22. And then something, 22. And that was it. So she goes, then like the next part of the dream, I think you were texting me. It was like the same thing. Some gibberish I didn't read, 22. Some other gibberish, 22. And she's like, and I was pulled over to go to the mall and I was making sure I was going the right way. She goes, I'm like, well, dude, I was like, I think you're seeing that this is XRP. Like maybe we're going to $2.22 or something like that. Mm-hmm. And she's like, but what if we're going down to 22 cents? And I go, well, it's, it was just there for a while. Now it's 70 cents. I'm like, I think we're on the way up, now. And she goes, well, if you say anything on YouTube, like you don't tell them that I said that. Like you need to tell people it could go down. I go, okay, I'll tell them. So I did a video and I said, well, my wife said this, and it went down to 22.22 cents. So 22 or 0.2222 woo dude is talking to Julian on the phone. All of a sudden Spirit comes in, breaks up the conversation. Get your ass off the phone right now and buy XRP right now. He goes, Julian, I got to go. Spirit's all over my ass on something. I'll call you back. He picks up his phone, which has the regular Coinbase app.
Yep.
Where you can't set the price. You just say, what's the price right now, buy or not. It doesn't even look, buy right now. How much money? Boom, this much money. Okay, we'll let you know in a few seconds. Okay, here's your message. We got an average buy-in price of 0.22 cents, 2222. Which you normally don't see that price on Coinbase. It just says 22 cents. So when you hit buy, it could have been 2221, 2225. Mm-hmm. It was 2222. So that was one thing. But Spirit has been telling him that's not what the 22 is just about. Like that's one little thing here. But there's going to be a lot of stuff tied into the 22s that you guys are going to need a lot of discernment around this number because it's very important and it's going to mean a lot of different things. So at that time, to us, it was just XRP right now. Right. Going forward now and seeing all these things happening around the world and certain things tying into this 22, the picture you just put up, Okay, it means a lot more than we think.
Okay. So let's
That's probably
now.
more than 2 minutes.
Okay, that's good. Very good, Joe. Thank you so much for that. And the audience, thank you for those of you who already know the story, bearing with us here. There's a lot of new people here, and we're trying to bring them up to speed on this storyboard here because it's important here moving forward. Everything is changing underneath our feet as we're talking now. So there's a couple of things I wanted to point you to as well. If you haven't seen this video I produced on Saturday with the Silver Guru himself, David Morgan, and Cliff High, the Silver Woo, go check out this episode. It's absolutely a barn buster, incredible. And also the interview I did earlier that day with Jim Willie. Jim and the folks here on those two interviews are all basically taking in all of this data and pointing right now that all these roads are leading right now to the end game. We're at that point now. Cliff calls it woo time, of course, and all of it connects right now to our ability to discern what's in front of us. Cliff was talking about observational dilemma for each of us here to figure out what it is we're actually looking at before we react. So this is the reason for this conversation here. Okay, so dude, pick it up from dude. Hey dude, where's my car, man? Okay, so Richard, pick it up from here and let's move the storyboard forward here in the storyline.
So I just want to throw a little bit more into what he just said.
Okay.
You know, when the 2-2 started happening, I mean, I got everybody in the XRP. We're all making a lot of money, all right? And I said, now, be careful. They said, don't be greedy. And they gave me a number of 88. They gave me 888. And the people that would send Joe information, oh my God, I just saw 222. I just saw this. I just saw this. And then it started working back. XRP started going backwards a little bit, right? I don't know. It's like at 70 cents or whatever. I go, shit, there's something about this, not to be greedy. It went up to 88 cents. 88 and another 8. I went, shit. Right? And then one of the, I think it was a psychic, said, Joe, I think Joe was at a restaurant. You're not going to believe this. There was a construction site. And I said, warning, construction, 2222. Do you remember that, Joe? So,
yeah, it wasn't a psychic person, but they were driving.
Yeah.
And he's like, there was like 2 things about it. He goes, this is just unbelievable. He goes, you know,
yeah,
like the street address changed to 222 something street.
Yeah. And so I said, I did a spirit. Okay, enough. You guys always give me the exact prices and win. That's the only reason why I connected with Joe, because we had to prove that the connection was real. I would tell Joe, make this trade at this time and this will happen. And the first time he chicken shit out and he lost 30 grand. Second time he says, I'm going to do what he said. And to the hour, to the minute, every trade we were making, it was happening. But it was for him to see that, hey, this is real, dude. Okay. And I'm not no finance guy. All right. So then when that warning came in from that person, I said, Spirit, enough of this. You guys just tell me what's going on. And they yelled at me. They said, use discernment. You know how to do it. And I went, oh, shit. So I started thinking, I go, okay. She saw a warning sign. This is going to happen. I go, oh, my God. It's going to go down to 22 cents, right? So I make my trade. I'm out. I make good money, right?
And you texted me to tell me, but I went into bed early and didn't do anything about it.
Yeah. Well, Joe's going, no fucking way. It's just going down there. I said, Joe. And then he'd call me back. He says, I bought more. I bought more at 40 something cents. Are you going to buy some woo-woo, dude? I go, no, Joe, it's going to 22. He goes, oh, you're crazy. And so he went a little while. I bought more. It's down to 37 cents. Woo-woo, dude, you going to get some of this? No, man, 22 cents. Right? I'm out. I'm happy. And he's going, no fucking way. Evelyn's right. Right? And then that's when the call happened. I'm talking to Julianne. But Spirit wanted everybody to see something supernatural occur. That's what this is about, because they're going to need it in these days going forward. And then when
Right.
they told me get off the damn phone and go buy, I did. I sent a picture of my phone to him. I said, look at what I got it for. 2, 2, 2, 2. Really? What's the mathematical odds of that?
Absolutely interesting.
Right?
Okay,
So-
let me take a quick pause here, guys, just for a moment. Crypto Werewolf is saying, hey, JC222 also means XRP exploding in 2022, according to Gematria FX news channel. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Another data point
possible.
there. So let's take a quick 3 or 4 minute break here. I want to bring up a special guest who is organizing a crypto meetup, and it is none other than Litecoin Lisa. Litecoin Lisa, how are you tonight?
Hi guys, thanks so much for having me on. I'm great. I am in Tulsa. I'm at my son's house. So I had a radio show that I traveled here for and got to visit my son and his wife. And I just really appreciate you having me on to talk about our meetups. We're trying to travel around. We're doing one meetup a month. And this month we're going to be in Dallas. We're going to be at Legacy West. This one is a little bit different. You have to buy a ticket for this one because they do have security at this event, and we have to turn in a list of all of our guests a couple days in advance. So we're selling tickets. The last opportunity to purchase a ticket is this Wednesday at noon. We have an open bar and hors d'oeuvres, and I'll be live streaming our happy hour show with me and Clint Westwood. John Kim will be there. We've got Pimpy from Pimpy's Investment Chat. We'll be giving away Litecoin and silver.
Hey, you had me at the open bar.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on a second here, Lisa. So here's the link. It's on the screen now for you guys. You can click on this hot link in the live stream as well to go and get your tickets for this meetup. So again, this is where? Plano, Texas. Is that correct?
It's in Plano. It's a like suburb of Dallas. We'll be in this beautiful high-rise luxury building that's overlooking the Dallas skyline, and it's like the entertainment district. So that building is where all the shopping and great restaurants and entertainment district is. So we'll have the happy hour event where, like I said, we'll be live streaming our happy hour show. Then the next day we'll have our Crypto 101. So our goal with this, what we're doing each month, is to have the happy hour show where we want everybody to bring some of their non-coiner friends so that they can feel comfortable that this isn't just all people coding and crypto geeks.
Right.
This is regular people learning about freedom, sovereignty through crypto, and then they can feel comfortable coming to the Crypto 101 class where we teach them to download a wallet. We actually we send them some crypto to their wallet, and we have them learn how to send crypto. We teach them where to buy crypto and help them out. Just trying to onboard more people with crypto adoption as we come into this financial collapse, which you guys are helping to educate people about. So
right.
We are going to be heading Snippy's way in December. So hopefully you guys can join us for that in Florida. We'll be in St. Petersburg, which
that's close enough. Yeah, that's close.
And hopefully by December, I won't be on lockdown here too, and I'll be able to join you guys.
Yes.
Because Lisa did invite me for this one. I'm like, are you kidding me? I can barely leave my house with everything going on right now. So.
All of you guys are invited to all of them. I hope all of you know that. I would love to have all three of you at any of them. And everybody watching is invited to all of them. We're going to be, next month, we'll be in Jersey celebrating my birthday. So it'll be October 15th. We're going to be in Jersey. And then November, we're doing a Friendsgiving in Peoria. So we are on the road trying to push for crypto adoption and want to invite everybody to all these. But I just wanted to get the word out there. We've got a few tickets left, and it is a closed event. We have to have everybody's name. And so if
and I'm looking at the on the board here, it says there's only 49 spots left. Is that correct?
Yes. And we have to have those names in to security by noon on Wednesday.
Okay.
So,
let me bring that link. Let me bring that link back down in the live chat one more time so you guys can click on that and go read the details and hopefully buy a ticket for yourself. And to support Lisa here as well, please do go and subscribe to her second, I guess, backup channel here. She was also deleted from YouTube. She's part of the club, guys. And you can find her at Litecoin Lisa here on YouTube. A lot of amazing content, including these chats here with Mr. Clint Westwood. I think he was in the chat earlier tonight. So big cheers to Clint as well. And congratulations to both of you for doing this work and supporting this community into empowerment in terms of being their own bank and understanding the responsibility of taking charge of our own finances. And I think we're all going to be challenged here with a lot of these responsibilities very quickly here as things lead up, as this conversation continues. And what Cliff High was saying here, it is woo time, and we're at this end game now. So thank you so much, Lisa. Really appreciate you being able to come on for a couple of minutes here and share your amazing event with the audience.
Thank you guys so much. Have a great woo night.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. Have a good night. We'll see you soon. All right, very good. Okay, so thank you for that divergence, folks. Thank you for that, and please do go and support our friend here at Abilities. Please do go and subscribe to her channel. She's got amazing content, and she's doing amazing work educating people on crypto. Okay, woo dude, let's pick it back up to where we were and where it moves from here. You said that we needed to have this paranormal event, I think is the word you use, in order to get us accustomed to the things that are about to happen so that we don't freak out and that we have a better footing or a better understanding on how to make the decisions here moving forward, because we're going into a new era that we're going to have difficulty understanding the framework because it's going to be so different from what we knew.
Yeah. Again, a year and a half ago, whenever I first met Joe, that I said, for humanity, people don't understand. You're all focused on the United States. I said, this is for all the marbles. This is it. This is really happening. And the beings that have been in control for a long time are not going to be able to stay here. And it has to do with that, with the second son. All right. They did say that we have two, is what they told me. I didn't learn that one from school, but we have a white and a black one. And that was the other thing that I said, a lot of people understand that these disturbances that we're getting from magnetic energies, the fluctuation of Schumann resonance, all this is being created by this black sun, I'm going to call it. All right. And our planet's being stretched. Now, the 222 things, basically all the people that were around then to watch all that, watch incredibly supernatural things. And Joe got to experience supernatural things that were just beyond his comprehension that was happening to him. And so he realized that, holy mackerel, this shit's real. Oh yeah, dude, it's real. And they picked you to be part of it. And so here we are now. So as we go forward here, lots of times I'll pick my iPad up and Spirit says, go in. And I'll go in. I don't even know where I'm going. And they'll put me in front of things. And they put me in front of the volcano. And big numbers. There's been 4,222, right? Earthquakes. 4,222. Or break it down, 2,222. No matter how you look at it, I went, all right, so I need to pay attention. And then that's when they explained to me that this started on 9/11, that these beings, and then, we think it's, Russia, China. It really doesn't matter. It's the beings that are using the higher technology that are pitting every human being on this planet against each other. And if they could just wake the hell up and realize that, we're all human beings here. All right. And it's really against us. It's a war against us. And they're going for it because they have to do it before this black sun really gets here completely. Now, some of the planets are already here and they're hiding it. If you remember, going back, I don't know, maybe last summer. Do you remember when they started shutting down all the telescopes, and they shut down a big one and the town surrounding it because somebody was playing with porno? Really? Really?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
sure. With Black Hawk helicopters shutting it down, or because the guy was
Oh, yeah.
watching porno. Yeah, there's something.
Yeah. All right. All right. So understand what they were telling me is that some of the planets that orbit this black sun are coming through. Okay, and they've been coming through, and people have been catching them here.
Well,
and
let me
there.
bring this one up here. I've been following this lady on YouTube. Her channel is called The Final Days. And what she does is scour FAA cams live to
Wow.
take the feeds before they delete them, because they keep scrubbing this stuff off of
Yeah.
the FAA cams. And she's been tracking some of these big spheres coming up in the sky. And as you can see, there's a rotation to the spheres as well. So it's not lens flares. There's a lot going on here. So guys, do go check that out. But as Richard is pointing out here, a lot of people are seeing this, not just with their naked eyes, but with technology as well.
Yeah.
Well, why would they remove them anyways afterwards if it's just a lens flare?
Exactly.
Well, because there was a naked lady behind it, and it was porno. Okay, come on, Joe.
There might have been a nipple in the corner. My God. God forbid.
It was a full moon. But okay, so this is all happening, and the thing is normally you can predict these things coming at a certain speed or a certain rate. Well, do you remember early in this conversation I said people would be talking about compressed time, and Joe and I would always make a joke about it, and then people started getting alert. Well, time is being compressed. I don't know how, okay? And these things are much closer than what they expected. So it's moving faster. And what we're going to see is many, many people becoming even strongly more bipolar or very aggressive. And this goes, I'll give kudos to Cliff High. Many years ago, he talked about something about energies from space, right? Making people go crazy.
Energies from space. Yeah.
Well, now we understand what's happening, and so it's interacting with our sun. It's interacting with us. Oh, you know, while we're on this subject, I do want to say this to all you people out there. All right. Think of your house. Every house has a grounding rod to it. All right. So if you get too much electricity that comes in your house, so it doesn't burn down your house, right? A closed circuit, it goes down in the ground. Every one of you out there need to do this. All right. You try to do it daily if you can. Obviously, do it anytime. But take time to go outside, sit down or stand, take your socks off, take your shoes off, and put your feet into either the dirt or the grass, and let this extra energy that is coming in you, because it is, and it can't escape. When you take your shoes off, you're going to let this energy pass through, go down one leg right into Mother Earth, and then the new energy will come up and it'll start going through your system and recirculating you. It'll help many of the issues that a lot of people are getting right now because of the electromagnetic energy. You have to let it out. If you wear rubber shoes, there's no way to escape it. So please, and especially people with heart issues, all right, I'm telling you, okay, do this. All right, so I digress, but I felt that was important.
Yes, and also let me just add, because there's a few people asking who was watching porno. So this was the news article. He was talking about the FBI the solar observatory. I forget, this is on Albuquerque, was closed down after supposedly they found child porn. But again, there were Black Hawk helicopters and a whole bunch of shit happening there. So it seemed a little bit odd at the time. And this was also at the same time where huge amount of data was being scrubbed by some FAA cams and some other amateur astronomy groups on Facebook and all of that stuff. So there was an event there somewhere, I think, that somebody was trying to maybe clamp down on. So keep
you
going.
think? Okay, so these things are happening. The systems are going to get worse. Now, last week, the Spirit told me they were going to do something to Google, and they're not going to see it coming. So I kept making jokes about this with Joe. I said, wouldn't it be funny? They told me they're going to do something to Google. And I made jokes. Maybe it's one of these meteors that's going to go right through the building. Because, Google owns YouTube. All these oligarchs are controlling everything. And they're going to lose it. Fractions are going to go after each other that are in these hierarchs, by the way. You think all the deep state love each other? Nah, they hate each other's guts. All right? So we're going to see them going after each other. But then when this guy's house burnt down, Google Larry Page, I just laughed my ass off. I said, I bet you didn't see that one coming. So again, what Spirit is letting all of us understand is that you're going to see all these people go through things. All right. And I'll call us the peons here. Just sit back and go, I bet you didn't see that one coming. Okay. Mm-hmm. So don't just focus on the black clouds, man. Okay. Like today was a beautiful day up where I am. And it's like, oh my God. Enjoy every day. Try to stay in the game. All right. There's going to be many times that they're going to try to capture us in different ways. Try to be wise. Take the fear of death out of you because there's absolutely no death. All right. So think of this as a big game, and you want to make it to the end of it because it's really going to be cool. All right. Now, all of you that are listening, all right, most of you are very old souls. Okay. And you were picked for this moment of time and to open up. And a lot of you in the past knew these things were going to happen. It just had an understanding that these things were going to happen. Well, why? Why did you have this? All right. Because again, you were picked for this time. And this is a very important time to make it through. All right. And to change this world. But, I asked Spirit, why don't you just cut down the tree of evil? I said this several months ago. And they said, if we just cut down the tree, it'll grow back. Okay. We need to expose the roots. And if we expose the roots, the tree will die. And that is what's happening to a T. They couldn't have said it any better than that. And that's what we're all watching. It's just like Millie. All right. We would never have known this stuff if Trump had stayed in during that whole process. Trump is a wrecking ball to uproot the evil. All right. And let everybody see it and have the understanding. And understand what they said about Trump, and I'm going to keep saying it. They said he's not leaving. That's all they say. All right. So I know he's involved some way in doing his thing. Now, this volcano thing. I do believe, because the 222 parable is really coming up and the Jonah or all that crap, that some bigger issues will come out of it. But I also, and here we go again, I'm going to throw this at Cliff High, going way back. I remember, oh my God, I can't even remember how long ago it was, that Cliff was talking about, what did he say? Again, I could be wrong, but something about coastal events. I'm talking
global coastal
way
event.
back. Right. To such an extreme, he was working with, I think, Dick Allgaier and a few other remote viewers back then. And he thought for sure this was it. This was the end. To such a point that Cliff actually said to everybody, good luck, because he anticipated it was that weekend. And then it didn't happen the way that everybody thought. Okay. But it is now. All right. And then you get these remote viewers. All four of them see a destruction. And I don't know, Joe. You sent me something that somebody saw diaspora on the coast, on the East Coast, damage. Didn't you send me something?
Well, I know the remote viewers were seeing blackouts all down like the East Coast of the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I'll tell
okay.
you that.
Why don't we do this here for the sake of the audience again, who might be new to this whole conversation? We kind of explained where we were last year. We predicted a few of these things that, for the most part, have enough indication for us to know that things are not as they used to be. So I think most of the audience is following us that things are weird right now. So we're all on that same page. What I'd like you to do here, Richard, is maybe rhyme off or list off 10 things. Let's start with that you see happening here from here to the end of the year. And then once we'll do that, I'd like to do maybe 5 things for the beginning of next year, just to kind of have people go into your mindset and see what you see here. So if you can rhyme them off as best you can here from the top of your head, what do you see? Top 10 between here and December 31st.
Okay. More outcomes that have to do with this volcano. I believe that the timing of China hitting Taiwan, I said that over a year ago, that was going to come up, and Taiwan wasn't even on the table back then. You're going to see a bigger war throughout the Middle East, all right? And this has to do with the situation in Afghanistan, that the Muslims are going to go against Muslims. This is going to be really strange shit. All right. The financial system is getting crippled. All right. But I really think the new financial system will happen in 2022. All right. I really believe that we're going to see cryptos go through the moon from either the end of September, okay, all the way up to almost December. And that's why I say lick your frickin' ice cream, all right? Because I also saw a major drop, and it was a big one. And I saw that it was the winter time. As I get closer, I'll know better, because they'll give me more on it. More a shakeup. Now this was another good thing. I think I told Joe, I don't know, 7-8 months ago, I saw Pelosi going down. Was it about 8 months ago, Joe? He's got a list of stuff. And I said, I saw her holding her heart. Okay. Now, I don't know if she was having a heart attack or she was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. I'm not sure, but I know she was going down. Okay. I saw a situation with Hunter that I still cannot say, because I really believe we could screw something up. And then his father goes away. And I believe we're right there. I mean, we are right there. All right. The weather issues, the earthquakes are going to get worse. The food shortages are really, I'm getting hit with it now. What they told me is the people that are on the outskirts of the cities, we're going to get the shortages first, because they told me they were diverting food to the inner cities because they need to keep them under control, because if they go berserk, okay, right now, that probably will not be a good thing. And believe it or not, about a couple days ago, I told Joe I went through one of our supermarket Shaw's. It's like any other big one. And I'm walking through and I'm going, oh my God, freezer after freezer after freezer after freezer empty. So for shits and giggles, yesterday I went to Walmart, and that takes me over an hour to get there. So I go out of my way to go. And I saw freezers after freezers after freezers empty. I went, holy shit.
At the Walmart also?
Yeah. And that this was going to get bigger and bigger. You think you're paying a lot for gas now? Okay. That's going straight up. So you know, I've been trying to get finishing touches done on a few things because I know that it's about to get really rough on situating a few things. I mean, listen, you need to be prepared for this stuff. You need to have your generators if you could get them. All right. If you're in the outskirts, you should already have them. You should have extra fuel. Myself, it's propane. Okay. Because we are going to get disruptions. Does that mean we'll be out of power forever? No, I don't think so. But the thing is it always happens when you don't want it to happen, right? Nothing's ever planned perfectly when it comes to that. And understand that this is changing by the day. All right. And it's moving quicker every day. It's a very strange thing, but it is. And so they're scurrying. Again, I said, you will see the Democratic Party attack the Democrats. Mm-hmm. The other thing is you're going to see people on the West Coast. And it was funny. I saw this black mayor. It was a woman who was pushing for everybody to be masked all the time. I can't think of her name, but she was caught partying out in a place with her friends without masks, right? You guys do it, but we're not going to do it. Kind of like Nancy Pelosi and everybody else does this. But Spirit said, listen. And then I could hear the thoughts of everybody around, like this mayor, and also around what's that guy's name that did the recall? Newsom. Yeah. And I could hear their thoughts that they can't stand these people. That basically, going way back, I said people are going to come to their doors with pitchforks, okay, and they're going to get them. And all these people that they think, oh, you know, they're all with me. No, because you're screwing over all of their family members and everybody else, and they all hate your guts, and they're coming for you. And again, you're going to see everybody scurrying like rats, and then they're not going to show up. I mean, if they were so secure, right? If they were so secure, we got everything in control here. Why the fuck would you fence off the White House? Really?
Somebody sent me a picture while we're on the live chat here, and I want to bring it up, and I thought it was really apropos. So here's our slave master on the right and a bunch of the slaves, and then suddenly there's just one slave standing up and saying, no, I'm not bending down. And then suddenly there's a couple. We're right here now. These are the undesirables, or the people who don't want to get the thing. And then suddenly we're going to be right here, and the slave master is here. So anyways, I thought this was a great picture. So thank you, whoever just sent that into my inbox. That's amazing. And let me bring this up also from Uncle Cliff. He was talking about the earth changes. Let me see if I can bring it up on the screen for you guys here. But basically he's saying also, not so much Planet X, but also the strange energies from space. This is what's going to account for a lot of these earth changes around the planet. And there was somebody in the chat just asking, what Woo Woo Dude is saying, is that also going to be in the UK? I think what he's saying is it's all around the world, but I'll let Woo Woo Dude answer. So go ahead, answer that question, please, Richard.
Yeah, it is the whole world. And I do want to say this. They have never told me it was Planet X. They never put a name on it. What they always called this was the planet of the crossing. That's how they said it to me. And they said, no planet's going to hit us. They said, but the earth changes were going to be unbelievable. And this just happened last week. They said, you are now going to start hearing about our planets being tugged, okay, or being pulled or being shaken. And this has to do with this black sun. Whatever you want to call this black sun, you know, it doesn't matter to me, okay? Like I said, it really doesn't matter, okay? That it is happening, all right? But this is going to make the change. Now, on the bright side of things, these beings, okay, that have been rulers here, which they shouldn't have been, but I know a lot of people said, well, the Anunnaki created us to carry gold. Horseshit, okay? They told us they were there. They were our gods. They're not, okay? They're not. Now, these beings, it's not one set, it's several. And they've colluded together to basically do what they want. Each one has a different aspect they want to do with human beings. You know, it is what it is. But this is the kicker, is because the vibration of the planets, like this human residence, it's going to keep rising. It's not going to ever come back to where it was. These critters, all right, this is the best way I want to put it. You ever hear of pest companies that get rid of mice, rodents, all this shit, and they can put something in your house that gives off a high vibrational sound? You can't hear it, but sends everything scurrying, right? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to happen here. The low frequency beings are not going to be able to stay here. All right. They're going to have to go. And what's happening is a lot of the beings are coming up from the inner earth. All right. The reason being is because they told me the inner earth is heating up. All right. So all the shittards that think they're going to go jump in the caves and make us bake up top, have a nice day down there. Okay. So all this is happening, and know what? There's going to be a new ruler in town only a few years out, and it's going to straighten this shit out. And all this bad stuff that's been going on, okay, and the manipulation of the humankind was never supposed to happen. Okay, we were created in a very blessed way. We were all given souls. Okay, other beings that are out there don't have souls. They don't even understand the comprehension of it. All right. But they live a long, long, long time. See, us, we're kind of like cockroaches. Every time they kill us, we come back again.
Even stronger.
What's up?
It's kind of like me and JSNIP4 on YouTube. We're like the stains that never go away. We keep coming back. Hey, Jay Rocco is saying, hey, Sage, JC just posted it. Did you catch it? So Sage was asking Richard if you had a website. So I did bring this up for the audience here. It's woowoodude.com, or if you like, NH Psychic Medium, so New Hampshire Psychic Medium.com. Let me bring that link down to live stream. And somebody was asking you too if you have a YouTube channel. You haven't set one up yet, Richard?
No, not until they take JC and snip me down forever. Then I will have to do it so they can interview off of my channel. Okay?
Right, we'll go on your show and create some havoc.
Right now, I'm staying neutral, all right? But that way, I can bestow myself with these guys. Go ahead, have at it. But hey, you know, it's an incredible time. Like I said, you know, everybody's so concerned about dying, and like, just forget it, dude. Okay, we were created in the image of the Creator, which is a spiritual being. All right, and the special gift that was given to us is that we keep coming back. Okay. Our spirit runs this physical body. I'm not going to call it a meat suit. I'm going to call it an astronaut suit. And it was designed to house our spirit, which is electric. It's all energy. All right. But our soul runs our spirit. Our soul is connected to the Creator being. All right. And a lot of people think of when you enter into, oh my God, the word is slipping right now. Oh my gosh. When you try to enter into the other fields, oh man, I can't even think of the word. I'm just losing it. But what I want to explain is
dimensions,
consciousness.
Okay. Into the stream of consciousness.
But consciousness survives within the Creator being. And creation never stops. That was an astounding thing when I sat there with the Creator, and it brought me to the edge of creation. I was blown away. Mm-hmm. You know, and to get this understanding removes this fear. So just try to think as a kid that this is the greatest time of humanity. What's happening right now? That this is real. and we were brought back here. All right. So a lot of you might get mad at people that are doing the vaxes, doing this, doing that. Understand. Stop that, because they're not on your journey. All right. They're not all here to go through what the older souls are going to go through. All right. And it's okay. They'll go back. They go back home and then they wait and they watch. Okay. Our job is to stay in this game and get to the end of it and get the touchdown. Okay. And be part of it. All right. So don't get tagged out, man. You know?
I love that. And Janine and I have been saying this on the show for a while here, trying to accustom people to perhaps some of these mass exits. And of course, we just mentioned in similar words that people's soul contracts are not your own. So if their karmas is over, or if their karmic loop is over, they're leaving and they're just choosing an exit method that is available to them now. So we have to look at it that way also. And I know it's harder when it's your family member, right? It's easy to say that abstractly to people on the internet, but when it's your family member, but still looking at the bigger picture here is what we're all being called to do and to hold this higher frequency of knowledge. Now, so you've given us a good read from here to December 31st. Let's move the dial forward now. Cliff High is also seeing pretty much some of the things you're seeing there too. And he's starting to see a change probably in February or March of next year, where suddenly the worst is behind us and we're starting to create and seeing these new opportunities. What do you see maybe 6 months from January to maybe July of 2022? What's on your radar?
Yes. Opportunities. Listen, every day is not going to be terrible. All right. But I want to be realistic here. We're going to be going through this. What I was getting is about 3.5 years. Okay. Until the whole system leaves us. Now, understand, even though we will get relief by watching.
You're talking about
the physical systems here on the planet, or the planetary systems leave us? Which one are you talking about?
Yeah, the planetary systems.
Okay.
But until that happens, okay, we have so much debris that these things are coming our way. Now, on top of it, I really don't know what this is, but I'm going to describe it the best I can to you. Is they showed me what looked like an ocean wave, and the planet Earth was sitting there, kind of like on the edge of the ocean, and this big wave was coming at it, and as it was coming at it, I'm looking at it, and I see these vibrations. I go, "What the hell is that?" And then it goes by, and I see the planet kind of shaking. You know, again, if I was a physicist or something, or a Cliff High, I'd go, "Well, I know what that is," but I don't. All right, so I saw this wave, and then as this wave went by, then they brought me to, I was looking at like palm trees, and they were swaying. Like this wave was not just water; it was like air or something, or energy that was making them bend. And then I go, "Dude," right? And then I looked at all this stuff behind it that was now inundating everything. And I'm going, okay, so there's some sort of a wave. They're describing it like water, but it isn't. It's in outer space. And that's also coming our way. And all these energies, okay, and particles, I'm going to call them meteors, okay, or asteroids, whatever, are going to be whacking us. And they said there's absolutely no way to get around this. None. It's going to happen. All right. And the other things that I saw, which was very strange, was Spirit showed me a pair of hands pushing our clouds down. And when I really stared at it, I noticed there was a jet. Okay, and they were pushing the jet down too, and I'm going, okay. I just thought about it for a while. Wait a second. They're pushing the jet stream down closer to our planet. So this is also going to create so much havoc with the weather systems. So hence food shortages of all types, another control mechanism. So really,
Okay, so just to
I
be
don't
clear,
think
though,
we'll be out. I don't think we'll be out of this shit for about 3.5 years. But if we see a lot of these political hacks get hung, you know,
it'll be worth the ride. It'll be worth the ride. Okay, well, your timeline is similar to Bo Polney's as well in terms of the, I guess, up to 2025 there. But what this wave you're talking about, just to be clear, you're seeing that anywhere between January and July of 2022, or no?
Oh, now, yeah, I would say within the next couple months, I believe.
Oh, okay, so this is in the first list before December 31st.
Oh, yeah, but
wow.
all the stuff that's coming with it, it's like we're going to be dealing with this thing. This is like multiple things that are going to be happening, and I think we'll know a lot more too when I really believe that the moon is really going to get whacked. I believe that we will get information. I know there's no way to prove it now, but I think information will come out that very big meteors or asteroids or even planet. Well, I mean, what do you call a small planet? An asteroid? I don't know. That these will be hitting some of our planets, and that the information will get out, even though I know they're trying to hide everything. So there's no way for me to prove it. But it's kind of like that hunk of hail that I saw with two hands. It's sure as shit. That's exactly what was in that news. So, you sit there and you go, okay. Sometimes you just got to think of it. But again,
as you were talking about this wave, and I think you and I mentioned this on one of our previous shows, but to me, every time you talk about this, I think about what Dr. Paula Violette wrote back in early 2000, and it was called the Galactic Superwave. Let me bring this up. And their impacts on Earth. So maybe for the audience here, go check out this a book or this DVD series. You could probably still find this on Amazon. I remember watching this, I believe, on the Learning Channel or Discovery Channel at the time. When they still had Discovery stuff on there and not politically correct
Are you
stuff.
sure it wasn't on what's your name's channel? That's where I saw it. Carrie Cassidy. That's the first time I saw
she might have interviewed him for sure in the past also. Yes. But even before that, he had been, I think, on the Discovery Channel with this. And anyways, that it's interesting the timing of this and what the way you're describing sounds eerily familiar to what Dr. Paul.
Well, this I also want to tell you because they showed it to me like on an ocean. JC, it wasn't one wave. It wasn't one wave. It was wave after wave after wave.
Look, there's an S there. Super wave.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Super waves. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And again, I believe we're already in it. But the problem is I guess when the waves hit us with the debris field that's with these planets, now get hit with that. Well, it's going to be like playing billiards, right? But they said there's no way around it. But I, in my heart of hearts, I'm not really concerned about big ones because I know we have technologies to take them out. I honestly think it'll be a shit ton of little stuff, but enough to create issues. I'm not looking at some freaking monster thing whacking us. I'm really not. And even that volcano that's going off.
Let me ask you. Melissa Bush was asking in the chat earlier. She says, "Well, ask Woo Dude here about this volcano. Like, run this scenario through here. What do you see happening? Where did I had that on the screen earlier? Sorry, folks. I don't mean to be making you dizzy. Anyways, I'll find it again. But what do you see happening with this volcano here moving forward?
I believe it's going to get worse. But what I kept getting is that it's not going to happen in a way that they're trying to make it happen. So I have hope there.
Okay, hold on. Who's they and what are they trying to make it happen with this volcano? Please explain.
All right, you got factions that have some sort of a technology, and they said they're doing it from underneath. I have no idea what it was, but they said they're trying to create vibration to create this thing to happen. And when I saw that it started on 9/11, the very first one, I went, that's no coincidence. But
Okay.
I have a funny feeling that there's other really great beings that are going to try to lessen the blow on a lot of stuff where it could be a lot worse. So it's kind of like if the side of the mountain falls in, well, what if they put a time bubble around it and slow it down? I mean, at this point in time, I know there's nothing that they can't do. Are they going to do that? I have the feeling they're going to do something.
Mhm.
And because again, it's like all the other things where they have said that, trust me, they're not going to see this coming. Okay. And the stuff happens right in front of us. It's really remarkable.
Mhm. Wow. Okay.
Poor Snippy. Poor Snippy sitting there. Yeah, well, the shit that's been happening to me.
Man,
If your fans ever knew all the shit that was going on with the Snipsmeister over here and spiritual stuff, it gets so ridiculous. It's kind of like, why even tell them? Because people are going to say, there's no way in hell.
Yeah.
Joe, why don't we switch gears here? The audience is eager to hear you also. A lot of them tuned in to figure out what the hell's happening with crypto. You and I, in our last show, you kept saying that we might have a dip, and you were trying to wait on some of these orders to try to see if you can pick up these dips. So far, it has not come true in a sense. We've had some little dips, but not what you were expecting. So
Right.
where are you on this target now? Let's talk about these dips and these possibilities here in the next couple of months. And also, we could probably take a few questions and talk about some of your favorite cryptos, including XRP, and maybe it moving out of troubled waters as this 222 thing appears here again. So let's start on those dips here. And do you see crypto crash coming?
Yeah. So I mean, I've been waiting like months now, for like this real heavy duty drop. We've had two good drops, but not low enough for the old snip, the old what am I? The vulture on those.
The vultures.
Like, now you guys go pick that carcass. That's not big enough carcass for me.
Right.
But like I said, like yesterday, I'm driving and I'm talking to Spirit, and they're showing me all this crazy shit, and I'm like, show me like 777s on a license plate. I never ever see that. And they showed me two trucks, both getting squirrely on the damn road into the other lane where you couldn't keep passing them because they're like in your lane big time. Only two, and the only two that did it while I was driving for over 2 hours are these two trucks. And I go, well, my specific question to Spirit was, if this big drop that I'm still waiting for is gonna happen, and then we go really, really high rally, then show me this. So if I don't see it, then it's like, hey, your day's over. Your time has come. It's not happened. Get back in the market or something now. But I do think it's going to be attached to all. Like, again, October's here coming up. We've got the Federal Reserve, not really the Federal Reserve, but the government, who didn't kick the can of the
debt ceiling. Yeah.
Yep, didn't kick that can. And again, we've got a president that's a Democrat. We got a House and Senate that can get anything done. Like, they can handle this. So why aren't they doing it? Why are they not doing it? It doesn't make sense unless they're going to try to push this old Great Reset crap the whole world's pushing.
Mm-hmm.
So if they do, again, it'll look like the Federal Reserve came in. We're really concerned. The Treasury Secretary, we're really concerned. Congress, you need to act. Oh my gosh. And the Congress is like, no, we're bringing in the Great Reset. So we have to let this thing crumble. We're not going to do the debt ceiling this time. Federal employees are going to stop getting paid for a short period of time, just like Cliff High seen in his data.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, if that happens, I think the crypto market, stock market, everything is going to just crash on this news. It'd be horrible. And then everyone's going to realize, well, what can I do with my money? Oh my God, that crypto market thing that I've been wanting to get into is way down right now. Everyone tries to flood in. Too many people coming in. Orders can't get placed. There's all chaos. You'd be lucky if you get something to fill. And then the thing starts going back up. So that's why my orders are sitting there, so that I don't have to try to get in. Like, they're already there waiting. So I still think it's going to happen. I'm still kind of banking on it.
But just for clarity, Joe, and for the people who might not be aware of all of this, you're not completely out of the market. You have a trading bag that's waiting for a dip, but you still have all of your positions. So just for the audience here, if you don't have positions, this is not what Joe is recommending. So just be clear on that, Joe, and explain a little bit more here. The importance to at least have positions here, whether it's crypto, gold, or silver here as we move forward.
Right. Well, especially the crypto, because that's all I'm trading. Gold, silver, whatever. I'm just sitting on. I've been sitting on it forever.
Right.
But with my crypto, I have a bag that I pretty much don't touch. It stays there in case I make a huge mistake. Oh gosh, I interpreted that dream wrong. Just wipe my trade out. You gotta have a bag so that you're in the game. You have some skin in the game. Period. Yeah. So if it doesn't happen the way I think it is, and it skyrockets, well, great. That bag that I have is skyrocketing.
Right.
If it's just a pure trade bag and that's all you're doing, you're gambling. You're really big gambling, and it's not real safe. So you got to be safe about it. Now, Woo Dude had said, I'm gonna say about a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months. He said, Spirit showed me something with this XRP lawsuit. I saw the judge's gavel go smack one time. He goes, I think that might be showing me we're getting close to resolution or something with that. I'm, okay. So then about, 2 or 3 weeks ago, he says, oh, guess what they showed me? The judge hitting that gavel 2 times. Dunk, dunk. And he goes, I think they're basically showing me 1, 2, 3, third time's the charm. He goes, so we're probably getting close to where the news comes out, XRP lawsuit settled, whatever, and the thing runs up.
Let me add to that quickly here while you're on that subject. Janine did pull some cards on a special episode for XRP, and she didn't know anything about it. And she's like, oh, is it in troubled water? I'm like, yes, it is. It's under SEC investigation or this lawsuit. Anyways, she pulled twice here already in our Beyond Crypto Woo series. This is where we pull cards on crypto, gold, and silver and the financial markets to help the audience here. But every single time she looks at XRP, we get closer and closer to it being out of troubled waters. Not only that card, but the same card keeps coming up of huge fortunes for those holding it. So this sounds a lot like what you and Woo Dude have been saying, even though you've caught a lot of slack from naysayers here over the last couple of months. Just wanted to add that to the record. Yeah. Keep going, Joe.
Well, that's common. Even two days goes by. Oh God, you missed that one. I only get 2 days. Jeez, guys, thanks. And then the thing crashes down way below 10. Like I said, like it's going below double digits. No, it's not. Data goes down to like $3.60. Bro.
And that's another one too. Back in April or May, one of our first reports, at that time, people were saying, oh, Theta is going to be $40 by the end of the month. And Janine was pulling cards. She says, no, it's going down. You should have seen the shit I ate. Everyone's like, Janine's wrong. Everybody else is saying it's going to be $40, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, it was at 15 at the time. And then we went down to $5 or $6. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
She's just reading the card, guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I still, again, I think this is going to happen. I've gotten signs that, I guess hold on, take your trade bag and wait, like you're doing. So I'm still doing that, but just to be prepared for, people have to be prepared for some little one-off things that aren't normal, because typically when the dump happens, the whole market dumps. And then when it rallies, the whole market rallies. But there's always those cases where there's a one-off that's potential. So let's just say XRP news hits first. That thing runs up several dollars from where it's at right now, which is $1, just on the news of the lawsuit going away or whatever. And then we have a crash because the Federal Reserve thing, whatever, kick the can, boom, comes back down again to some level. But I because we know this whole thing is a setup. I mean, this whole thing's a setup. XRP, the lawsuit, it's all a setup. I think that's probably not likely, if I'm guessing, if I'm throwing a dart, that'll happen. I think the news will come about whatever, the debt ceiling, markets crash, XRP dumps with them. Hopefully my orders, my Patreon members' orders fill on all the shit we got sitting there because we're doing more than just XRP. And then it goes back up. And then all of a sudden, the whole problem is this financial system. How do we fix it? Oh, XRP can come in. Oh, really? And then, of course, the judge rules on it or whatever. The next thing, it's just like 1, 2, 3 knockout of epic news for XRP. it's
And what do you
dismissed
make
or
of
the
these
judge rules.
rumors that came out just a week ago that XRP was going to be relisted on Coinbase, and Coinbase says no, that's not true. It's just a rumor. But then this other Japanese exchange was listing it or announced that they were just about to relist it. So why are they doing that if they don't already have a heads up that somebody's going to hit the gavel here, as Woo Dude was saying?
Right, it's very possible.
Yeah.
It's just the question is how soon
Right.
is it? How's it going to affect it? Because again, you might find XRP runs up first because of the news, then the crash happens, so it drops back down. The question is, how far is it going to drop? Is it going to go down to my target numbers? Those are pretty damn low.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I thought I got some of this information from Spirit and confirmation, and I'm like, I'm going to take a chance. I'm doing it. So, but I have XRP that I won't touch,
Mm-hmm.
and I have all these other coins that I'm trading that I don't touch in that hodl bag.
Mm-hmm.
So one way or the other, I mean, I'm going to win. Whereas if it doesn't dump and I've got cash sitting on the side, basically, I still got cash on the side. So great, I could go play with it later.
Yeah.
And get into some trades later. It's not a big deal. And I got my hodl bag that's looking great at that time if it were to skyrocket. So that's why I say don't have just a trade bag, don't have just a hodl bag. Like, maybe play a little bit of both. Try your hand at trading a little bit, but just take a sliver of your bag and see what you can do. It can't hurt. If you lose it, okay, I'm done. It wasn't that much to hurt me at all. I'm done. I learned my lesson. I'm not going to do it.
Right.
And for you to lose it all, honestly, it doesn't even sound right, because I don't know how you could lose all of it. You just, you're going to sell when you shouldn't have or bought when you shouldn't have, but it doesn't mean you lost it all.
Right.
Typically you just could have done better than you did, basically, but whatever.
Let me just address it before I lose it from the buffer. But Thomas was asking, hey, where's the Cliff High David Morgan video? So we recorded that on Saturday, and we gave priority access, of course, to our Insider Access Pass members who support me in doing all of these shows. So they had first viewing on Saturday, and Sunday morning, first thing, I uploaded it to BitChute, free for everyone. So if you guys want to go check out my BitChute channel, it's Jean-Claude at BeyondMystic. And of course, this was uploaded earlier today. Fabulous interview, guys. This is, of course, where the Silver Guru meets the Silver Woo. I can't even get into it in this show here. We're already an hour and a half into it. But guys, go see this episode. You're going to be thanking me. I was planning and dreaming about this episode for almost 10 months now. And with all this shit happening and me losing my channels 2-3 times and my Patreon, and it was always like, oh, I almost have it. And then it would slip through my hands. But anyway, we finally made it happen this Saturday. And Andy Scheckman, also from Miles Franklin, gave us a special promotion for Silver during the show also, and he did a little cameo video for us, and that was absolutely fun. So guys, go check it out. Ronnie is saying, loved it. Absolutely good video. Let's talk about that Silver, because it is also on the mind of everyone here. Richard, let me start with you here again. A lot of our past videos were deleted by YouTube, and some people don't know your predictions on Silver. So run them through some of your dreams where you saw these incremental increases, and try to put that into a timeline here from here to maybe next March or next summer. What do you see for Silver?
I see Silver separating from the norm when we get towards probably late October. I saw like fall going into winter. So I'm saying the end of October, maybe early November is, but the separation will begin, along with a whole shitload of other habit. But I saw three visions.
You mean a separation of the way silver is tracking with gold, or what do you mean by separation?
In other words, on control.
Okay.
All right. So the prices will go up, and I know this is going to sound a little crazy. I'm thinking by possibly in January that it'll hit that first big target. Understand it's going to be rising, but they gave me plateaus to take a look at that shocked me. And the first one was, and they always showed me, because that's what I have. I have the vials, 20 coins of American Eagles per vial, I think it is. And they showed that price to me, and that was a big one. That was $10,000. I says, holy shit. Okay. And that seems to get there really rapidly. But they said, oh, look at this. And a little further down, but understand we're dealing with some shit going on. It hit the next level. Okay. Understand it's going up. And that was 30 grand. 30 grand. All right. Now you go, holy shit, that's absurd. I know it's absurd. All right. But that wasn't the end of it. There was one more, and it was $50,000 for 20 coins. But they said something to me, and this is kind of strange. They said you will not be able to own it at that time, that basically we're going to have to give it up. All right. And the reason being, it has something to do with the use with humanity and technology. Not sure what it is, but it's you won't be able to own it. So I mean,
New electrics, cliff high.
I have no idea, but that's what they said, and that was 50 G's, and that's where it ended. It ended, and we weren't allowed to keep it. It was more industrialized to use for whatever they're using it for.
Becomes
It was a crazy amount.
It's too valuable for money at that point, I think, is
Yeah,
what Cliff was
yeah.
saying. Yeah. He also mentioned in the show here, just so you guys know, so he talked about that, how he got to the $600 silver from way back when, and the first run of the reports maybe 20 years ago, and how this data kept accumulating. And he said that $600 silver in the data sets was in the same year that Bitcoin was going to hit 64,000. And at the time he said that, people said, "Oh, he's off his rocker. You know, Bitcoin's not going to be 64,000." Of course,
Yeah.
it did that this year, and it retrenched almost exactly like he said it would. But in that report, it said that people would be talking about 600 silver in that same year before Christmas. So your timing on this is tracking with Cliff. Now, Cliff said also in this video, he recapped this for the audience, that this $600 silver was just a starting point to let you know that, like you just said here, there's a separation or a detraction from the manipulation, and then we would get to see maybe $1,000, $2,000 silver, which is also what Penny Kelly just brought up in her last look-see here. This one from last week. So guys, if you haven't seen that, the last break in the clouds, she's talking also about $1,800 silver. I believe she said by end of January, February of next year. So absolutely mind-boggling when you think that it's at $23 or just under $23 right now with all of this manipulation. So times are actually really, really weird, because you guys all remember that we might not like the world with the $600 silver. Right. This was always in the data, and everybody's like, "What do you mean? We're going to be happy at $600 silver." But when we're looking at everything that Woo Dude has just described, maybe in his top 10 list with what was going to happen before here and December of this year, yeah, we're going through some difficult times here. Sage is asking on the screen, please ask Richard, does he see banks freezing our money? And if so, when?
Yeah. Yes, but for a very short amount of time. And I'll be honest with you, I also believe it's at the exact time that Snippy's getting of a big drop. Now, see, I do see something happening, but they told me not to get involved with it, that it will happen so quick. And I believe I won't be able to make a trade. All right. I'm in so low anyways. Why would I bother? All right. But you could call it flash crash. You could do whatever you want. But I really believe that we may not be able to trade for a little bit. And then all of a sudden, you know, everything opens up and everything goes crazy. Because
Janine and I were talking about exactly what you're saying now. She saw days, not weeks or months, but these pockets of days of disruptions in payment processing, whether you're trying to buy something online with PayPal or whatever, or that your bank is frozen up for a couple of days. But then eventually you would get your money. I think it wasn't a point of them bailing in and you would never see the money. It could be that you were delayed in being able to put your hands on your money. How does that track with what you're seeing, Richard?
Yeah, what I had gotten before is that they always use the words, "This will be a transition." And they said, you will need cash, you will need cryptocurrencies, and you will need silver. And if you have these, you will be able to adapt to this transition that's going to happen. And, you know, as it works its way out. And I really believe with events that will happen, that, let's face it, if the remote viewers are right with electricity up and down the East Coast, it's coinciding with the volcano. It's coinciding with just what was it? All four of them saw a big
Mushroom cloud. Yeah.
Okay. That could be anything. That actually could have been the volcano that they looked at. All right. So it's hard to say, but you got 4 separate people, 5 cliff high with coastal events. Okay. Me, it's like every time I come out and say something, all of a sudden it gets validated like 4 days later by 5 other people that know nothing about me, and they get these things. You just got to go, dude, you know, this is when you should be taking a little cash out of the bank and leaving it at your house. You know, I mean, what you can do. And so if we have this type of disruption, understand that the whole banking system, pretty much of the whole freaking world, is on the East Coast of the United States. I mean, it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you could
Let
say,
me just add one piece here. Ronnie is saying, hey, check JC's link. Somebody was asking, okay, where do I buy silver? Before I get to that here, let me bring this back to Cliff here. What Cliff and David were saying was that the conversations people were going to be having probably in December of this year was to the effect that if they had a little bit of silver, suddenly their whole thinking would change, because they would have to think of how they would disperse that down a few generations. That's how much it's going to be worth to them at that point. It's not like the $20, it's going to be astronomical dollars. And so I thought that was absolutely fascinating. Again, this whole idea that we have no idea how much silver is really, really worth because of these suppression schemes that have been lasting forever. And this was the point of this episode too. We're moving into a new era where all of these past systems need to crumble by design, because they were born out of previous eras' energies, and they need to make way for all our new organic humans economy that is coming forward here. And so we're going to start to see that this fall. Okay, so let me bring that link back up for who was asking. I think it was Ronnie. These are the silver specials from Miles Franklin for this week, and he was pointing out this one here, the 1 ounce American Silver Eagle Type 2s from the San Francisco Mint. That is the box of 500 here. He says those are absolutely almost impossible to find right now, and most dealers are selling these at around 11 or 12 over spot. So Andy here putting this discount at $7.25 over spot is an absolute steal, considering that these are collectibles also. So please do go check that out. But you have other products there available to you guys. And these are the specials that he's affording the Beyond Mystic audience. So that's beyondmystic.net/silver. And again, I'll put the link back down in the live chat for you guys. Okay, so we talked about crypto. We talked about silver here. Joe, do you want to run off maybe a few of your top trades? And I know you talk about this quite a bit here on your Patreon. Let's start sharing with the audience here some of your best picks and how they can also maybe get into some of this trading action here on your patreon.com/JSNIP4.
Yep. So the middle membership levels, the $20 a month in American dollars. I always say that because it shows Canadian here. And where I talk about some of my dream stuff, crypto stuff, whatever I get, but that's all. The other memberships are, you don't need that.
Okay.
The elite one is basically some people maybe need to ask me some questions personally about certain things. How do I do this? How do I do that? And I'll get back to you and help you that kind of way.
Just a question, Joe. During my interview today, the live stream with Jim Willie, there was quite a few new people in the chat. They're saying, "Hey, JC, are you going to make a how-to video and this and this and that?" And I said, "No, actually, my buddy JSNIP4 does that. So come to the show tonight, and he'll tell you where all of those videos are." So in the $20 package, Joe, can they also have access here to how to start your wallet? Okay, explain that for the audience.
Yeah. I've got a couple of more or less like a part 1, part 2. Crypto 101, how to use Coinbase, how to use Mandela, how to use Exodus wallet, like the 3 main things you need if you're going to be serious about crypto. Although you might just want to get on Coinbase and watch only that one and make it really easy on yourself. But they're on there. But if you just joined recently, just message me in Patreon and go, "Hey, can you share those Crypto 101 videos with me?" And I'll just direct message you the links to them, because I don't think it's on a pinned post. It's probably buried down a ways now.
Okay.
So some of the coins, honestly, that I think everybody should have: XRP, Theta, and some Theta Fuel, T Fuel, Digibyte.
Yeah, old school.
I think,
yeah.
and Dogecoin is just, I think something's going to come of that later that people aren't going to expect. Elon Musk or something might get involved. That's another one I think you should just have. Those are kind of the main coins. Bitcoin Cash is not a bad one either, because it's only like $600 or $700 right now, I think. And
what about Cardano? What's all this stuff people are hearing about Cardano being the Ethereum buster? I'm getting a lot of traction on this in the last couple of days, and people are just looking for advice here.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad coin. You can't go wrong with it, but I don't know anything about that, because there's rumors about everything.
Right.
That one Solana that was up recently had a big problem. They had to shut their network down. They're like, hey, wait a minute, I thought this was decentralized. If it's decentralized, how can you guys just like flip a switch and it shut off?
Mm-hmm.
And that was supposed to be the Ethereum killer. Now it's just Solana down there. So it's just, I don't know. It's just.
And what about XPRT? This was a new fan favorite on your Patreon group here a couple of months ago. You see astronomical numbers there. What is it, and what do you expect coming from it at this point here moving forward?
Yeah, so we first heard about that from White Dove again. She got a thing from Spirit that was like, oh my God, this is another Theta coin. And we got Theta at 12 cents thanks to her Spirit guide telling her that back in 2018. The thing went up to $15 or $16 in this year. Now it's down around 6 or 7, which is still fantastic considering you paid 12 cents for something. Mm-hmm. But she got a similar message about this persistence coin, XPRT. And by the way, I just heard that they are now listing it, I think, on KuCoin. And Americans, I believe, can use KuCoin, KuCoin, KuCoin. And before we had to use the Ascend EX exchange, and you had to use a VPN if you're an American. It's a little bit tricky. But now that it's on KuCoin, it should just be sign up, send some coins over there to swap, basically, into some of that coin. But so that's another one. Current price it's been fluctuating between 10, 11, 12 bucks. We got in on that when she first got the message. It was like $3, $3.30 or something, and there was so little volume. I bought a little bit, and I was already pushing up to like $3.80. Like, whoa!
Right.
I'm like, how much do you want? How much does Pete want? How much do I want? I'm going, oh boy, this is gonna be tricky. I'm about to push the price of this son of a gun up, and I did, just trying to buy our first stash of it. But Woo Dude not too long ago was like, hey, persistence. Oh, they just said something about watch persistence. And it was like $8 at the time, I think, $7, $8. All of a sudden it rocketed up to like $12 like within days. Mm-hmm. But there's forecasts of that coin going into the thousands. So similar to Theta. But with Theta, we got in at 12 cents. With this one, we had to start off at $3. However, they have a huge staking rewards. It's like 30-something% if you stake your coins, and just every day you go into their website where your wallet is, and you simply just claim your stake, restake it on the server you're using, call it a day. And they're doing this, I think he told me, for 2 years. And I just spoke with him the other day. I'm going to have an interview with him coming up in the not too distant future. The guy I talked to last time about persistence. I think his name was Sanjay or something like that. But anyways, this thing, I mean, how much can you earn in 2 years at 30-something%? Like, you're getting a bonus of epic proportions. So imagine doing this by clicking a couple buttons every night to restake your stuff. And when you finally see huge numbers, how many did you get for free? You know?
Yeah.
It's like, and if it goes into the thousands of dollars and you earned, I don't know, depending on how much you bought, 10, 20, 30, 100 of these things, staking or whatever, times $1,000. Oh my God, you're going to be, you're going to be a pretty happy person. So yeah, I think that's another one that you should have too.
Somebody was in the chat earlier saying that somebody was predicting, I don't know if they were mentioning White Dove or whatever, but XRP at $2,000 per unit. Have you guys come across these numbers anywhere, either in spirit world or from other remote viewers? For
I haven't
XRP?
gotten a high. I've heard other people talk in the thousands. I haven't personally gotten a high, and I don't know if you have, Woo Dude. Have you?
I saw two possibilities that came to me, and one of them. No, I'm saying within 12 months, and I think within a couple months, to be honest with you, that we could see $100 XRP. But I also saw another thing. Now, I don't know why they're showing me this, but I actually saw where it's a possibility that XRP will get reevaluated because of the use that it's going to be needed for around the world. And I really do believe that this XRP thing is also connected to the disruptions that we may have, maybe with the financial, but I think it's because of other things happening to our planet that creates all this havoc. And you know, all this is going to come to fruition. And I saw $2,000. I did. I shit myself when I saw that. I said, "You got to be kidding me." I said, "I'd be really happy at $20." Okay.
Yeah.
But it's going to be big, and I have to laugh because JC has a poker face. You see how he is? Okay.
You wear my sunglasses.
They're telling me right now he's going to be a very, very wealthy man because of XRP. So, JC, you're hiding this shit.
Well, you know, as you were talking, I was trying to find the clip of Jim Willie today, because in this interview he talks about all these roads leading to this end game here, and all of this is connected to what he's calling or seeing here as the new financial system.
Yeah.
And what's funny also, not just in this one, but in the interview with Cliff High and David Morgan, we came back again to talk about, where did you go? Wait, hold on a second here. I want to show it to you guys. No, it's not this one. Where did you go? This one here. We talked about Reggie Middleton also in Veritasium. So there was that old WebBot data that said, again, because something breaks, the government goes hand in hand back to Reggie to use this thing to create these new systems. So it's very, as you were talking there, Richard, I was thinking, that could, the revaluation part at least, it makes sense that maybe that would be also the case for XRP here. And that's why a lot of these analysts who hate XRP might be kicking themselves in the butt here moving forward because of that. And again, Janine also pulled that XRP, even though some people say it was born out of negative energy. And you guys have talked about this and you had a lot of flack on your show about this before, but you said that at some point it might be flipped and actually used by the good guys. Yeah. And so there's that also to consider in your equation. And somebody just said, hey, this is not financial advice. No, it's for entertainment purposes only. we don't listen to what we're saying. We don't know anything about what we're talking about. Okay.
What are you, nuts?
Nuts?
So I see somebody's asking about XLM. So yes, that's actually another one that we think somehow could be doing something similar with XRP, but like
a counterbalance to it, like a gold one, a silver one type of thing.
Right, like XRP's gold and XLM will be the silver, so to speak.
Right.
So that's another one that we do have some, but it's kind of sitting there doing nothing at the moment for the most part. But
it's been down quite a bit
in my portfolio.
Yeah,
I do have some.
Yeah. Okay.
Take advantage.
And Ocean Odell was on the screen there saying, yeah, I'm buying more silver too. And I'm using the link from Miles Franklin. These guys are so busy. Andy told me the other day too, says, JC, typically in our business, and his father had the business before him. He says, I've never seen this in my career. He said, we usually had a handful, maybe a dozen, 7-figure orders in a year, like that, big fish like that. He says, now we're getting that every week.
Oh, yeah.
So something is happening where people are freaked out. They're one-time buyers. They're realizing they don't trust the stock market. They're spooked. They're taking their money out and they say, here, Andy, I got 2.5 million. What can you give me? And I need it tomorrow, right? So he's getting those frantic phone calls now every week at these big levels. And on top of that, all of our audience members also are picking up more and more and more recurring. So there's new ones, but also the recurring stuff he was saying. So he's busy as hell. Like last night, he was responding to stuff till 2 a.m. And I see this because we go back and forth with our booking form here on the website. So crazy times. Guys, we're already at the 2-hour mark, and I'm sure the audience would take us for another 2 hours. Let me ask you, let me start with Joe maybe, and I'll end with Richard. Joe, anything else we need to put on the radar, either crypto related or anything else in the spirit world? And maybe last words of advice here before we go, and then I'll ask the same thing to Richard. So let me start with you, Joe.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything else to add about the cryptos. If you're not in the game, you got to get in the game. you know, are you going to risk the market crash first and all that? Like, it's not worth the risk. You got to get in the game. And then if you have some extra money and then it crashes, great, grab some more. That way you're at least in the game. Like we talked in other shows, you should have a generator. We think there's going to be problems. We don't know where it's all going to be. An actual backup generator for your power to your house.
Mhm.
You should have something like that. You know, so it's one of these things that when you need it, you can't get it. And you just got to have it. Food storage, not a bad idea. You know, same thing. But again, we're going through some stuff, and I think all of us are going to get out of it just fine. And just keep your head on a swivel. Do some of these protective measures we're talking about.
Mhm.
And, you know, we'll be doing live streams while this world's going to shit, and then laughing about it after it's done, and talking about maybe all of our wealth and stuff from taking advantage of the crypto market and silver and all this stuff that we were laughed at a long time ago, you know.
Yeah.
And then we laugh our way to the bank, so to speak, later on, and we helped a whole bunch of people do the same thing. So
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to really add.
Okay, very good. And folks, please do go and subscribe to JSNIP4 2 here, his backup channel. Joe was just behind me. I think a week later, I had got deleted, and he got deleted about a week later. So we're trying to rebuild our communities here, and Joe needs some help here finding his old friends here. So please, if you're on my channel and you just found Joe again, please do go check him out. Let me bring that link down in live chat to make it easy for you guys to just click on that link and go and subscribe to Joe. All right. Richard, let me bring you on the screen here too. Anything else from Spirit that we need to know, and maybe some closing points here too? I guess I want to say it this way, just to frame it a little bit, because a lot of people listening to this for the first time, they might have dropped into the fear frequency. Oh my God, I didn't do anything. I didn't. Okay, let's move them out of fear and put them into empowerment here with this information as we close the show.
Yeah, listen. When you run around in fear, you're giving that energy to the dark side. You really are. All right. And don't, what is it of fear? Okay. Just flow with this energy and with this change and be part of this. All right. Not every day is going to be dark. Listen, we all have bad days, but understanding. All right. When they said they're not just going to cut the tree of evil down, that they have to expose the roots. What are we all watching? It's happening. All right. This is an incredible time. Stay in the game. And when it comes to cryptos, I got to steal this from Cliff. Cliffy won't care. You know how you're always trying to chase the dips, and where we are right now, we know that some really big things are about to happen. All right. And yep, are they going to shake things up? You bet your ass they are. But if Cliff was here and he was saying, yeah, you should buy Bitcoin at 888. Yeah, you're full of shit. Right? Well, what if you bought it at $8,088? Would you be pissed right now? No. So what I'm getting at with the XRP and this, that, yeah, I know I got in at 2222, but the thing is with these numbers that we really believe are going to happen, okay, if you got in at $1, come on. XLM, it's a discount. Silver, okay, if these numbers happen, think about this shit. I've been sitting on my silver for 10 years. It's okay. I haven't worried about it, because they told me what was going to happen. Half of it is faith. All right. Do the best you can here. And, you know, like as we leave this tonight, that with all the people so upset at their loved ones getting the shot and everything else, you got to get out of that shit. Okay. And understand, we're all in a classroom. Some are going to graduate and some aren't meant to graduate. Some are put here for this reason. Some are just put here because it's their time to be here. All right. They're not all supposed to go through all this crazy shit. All right. So they just go home and they hang out there. They'll be coming back again. But like I said, I want to follow this through. I don't want to come back to a planet that I have to live in a fucking cave and wear a loincloth to chase down a gazelle. Okay? I want a flying car.
Yeah, I want a flying RV. I want to go fishing with Cliff here on planet Mars or something.
Whatever. You know, but the thing is our world's going to change so dramatic once we get through this, because the bastards that have been holding us back, this shit's going to be released. And people are going to be shocked at frickin' technologies that we're going to have. And we just got to hang in through this. So try to enjoy watching the politicians hang each other, okay? All the people, I talk with people around the world, the Australians, I told them, I said, you watch, it'll happen with the police. I said, and you Australians are tough. It'll happen, and you guys are going to run them over. And then it's going to catch on, and they're going to realize that you guys outnumber them. And it just happened, right? They were pushing on a crowd, then the whole fucking crowd went, don't piss off a bunch of soccer players, man. There's some badasses out there. Now they're empowering themselves. So you're going to see this happen more around the world. And at the same time, when they knock these people down, they're going to take their weapons. They're going to take everything they've got. They'll strip them clean, and they'll move on to the next ones. Yeah. We're going to win this. We really are. Keep the faith in this. And keep smiling, man. Woo-woo, dude, keep smiling, because we're going to win. We're really going to win.
I love it. Well, that's a great way to end the show. Thank you so much, Rickard. Somebody on the screen is saying, when is that Cliff Hyde even Morgan? I mean, I keep repeating this and nobody can find it. Okay, you guys can't find it because I can't put it on YouTube because of the language. So I did put it up on my BitChute, guys. So let me bring that link down one more time. It is also on my Insider Access Pass. So all you guys already have access to this. But here's a link to the BitChute one. Now, if you're looking for all the other Cliff High interviews also, and maybe some really cool stuff on Beyond Disclosure, this series, and also this Beyond Crypto Woo series with Janine, where we gave you basically a guide to this financial reset, please do consider maybe these pay-per-views here on beyondmystic.net/pay-per-view. And if you're already a member of those and you keep buying every month, maybe it's time to start thinking about the annual Insider Access Pass. You're going to actually save a lot of money. There's a lot of content there, and this pass is getting cheaper and cheaper by the day when you consider all the content that's on there now. And speaking of that, Janine and I have a coupon code right now for this week. The promotion is Stay Connected, and we put this together because we understood that we might have some disruptions in our payment systems, as Cliff High was saying, as Woo Woo Dude was saying, and hopefully here, if you're already behind the wall with our content, you'll at least be able to see what we have up there, even though your bank might not be letting you do transactions for our pay-per-view. So anyways, this will give you 10% off of our Insider Access Pass. This is the annual pass, and that is Stay Connected in one word. All right, folks, that was the Wacky Woo. And of course, we did not disappoint. It was pretty wacky, I have to admit. And guys, thank you so much for being here and participating in the live chat. You guys are amazing. I love you guys. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And of course, go again and subscribe to JSNIP4 here on YouTube. And if you want to communicate directly with Richard here, you can do so at New Hampshire or nhpsychicmedium.com, or an easy URL would be woowoodude.com also. All right, folks, I love you. Have a great evening, and we'll see you soon. Au revoir.
See ya.